Alright, what's up y'all, it's LakerFan here. What if I told you that the best rep method in 2K25 is to play my career? So, you can see this is starting 5. It's a game mode that's in 2K25 as a multiplayer game where you play against one other user and you both use your my players and put them on a my career type team. And essentially, you just play against each other, and it's all, what makes it even better for the sake of the rep, is it's all teammate grade based. It's not about whether you win or lose. You can get your badge progression in here, you get some VC along the way as well. Nothing crazy, as you can see, just like about 1,000. And this was also double rep. You may be deterred by this rep bar because I'm on the starter 4 to starter 5, which is obviously some no life stuff compared to a lot of what you guys are on, but it's very good for your rep. In perspective, it gives you about the exact same as an A+ in the rec center or like Pro-Am would, ranked Pro-Am and stuff like that. So it's very, very good. I would very much so recommend it to you guys. In today's video, I want to give you a nice little guide on how to maybe best introduce you to the mode itself, as well as also give you some suggestions for teams that would fit you and your playstyle and your position, and also just give you some proof of examples of like how this is actually a really good rep method. And I mean, you can see I was absolutely cheesing this stuff with this post score at the 3 playing on the Lakers. 67 points, 16 rebounds, 4 assists on 1 turnover in this game. So very quick, just some perspective on the badge progression. This is off 1 alley-oop catch, and as you can see, it goes from 90 to 99, and then the rep also 53.6 all the way up to 55.1. So that's very good for me. As I mentioned, that's by far better than anything I get in the Pro-Am or anything like that. And yes, I know this is double rep. Let me go ahead and show you an actual game real quick that isn't. Alright, so here I was on my new popper build, and I just wanted to go ahead and test this and show for a fact, and I was going to lose on purpose as I loaded this up, right? I was going to load in and as you can see, first possession on defense, I'm loading up a zone so I can just sit in the corner and just not have to play the game at all. So like, right, and also Tonic told me, what an absolute cap, by the way. Tonic told me that you could just call a 2-3 and sit directly in the paint. I'm here to show you that that is not the case. I'll get a defensive 3-second for doing this. What a capper the Tonic is. And I couldn't even believe it for that matter, because obviously defensive 3-second. But if you want to call like a 3-2, you can just sit on the block, boom. You don't got to do any type of defense. If you're a guard, just sit at the top or one of the wings, something like that. You can run the break. Long story short, I just wanted to introduce you guys to this because I was out here doing this. I'm just sitting here, you know, watching some TV shows or something like that, Netflix, stuff like that, and just putting this on in the pastime. And what I didn't understand was that I didn't have to be sweating like I was in the mode or anything like that. You are strictly here for teammate grade. So as you're going to see, you can see in that top right corner, you know, I have a B, B+, you know, we're in the A- territory, stuff like that, and A. I'm losing the game by quite a big margin right here. You can see I'm down 46 to 60, and I'm staying in the zone the whole time. The dude's flopping on me and stuff too, because he thinks he's a big man for this. Listen, I didn't lose a single game when I was out here sweating on this stuff, and as you can see, when I'm changing the settings, I was trying to turn down the foul tendency. Anyway, point being, you can see I lost the game, and I got an A+ and like 30 points, 14 rebounds, you know, didn't get the 10th assist or anything like that right there, but either way, just wanted to show the end result of the game. So as far as badge progression goes, I really only had Box Out Beast, Dimer, and Pogo to work on, and as you can see with these 3 badges right here, not crazy progression by any means. It was okay though. You can see they all go up by about 20%, and this is me with no double rep or anything like that. 88.2%, and you can see I get a nice 0.5 right there. So granted, it's not the 0.6 or 0.7 I'd be getting if I got the win, but I just wanted to show you that you don't necessarily have to win the game to be able to get the rep off this. And again, I know you may be deterred by my rep level, but it's way, way better and more appealing when it comes to your own. If you're like a starter 1, you're getting around 4 to 5% per game on the double rep. It's probably more like 2.5 to 2.6 or something like that. But anyway, let me go ahead and show you guys some team selections that would maybe help you and make it an easier time for you, as well as just understand how to fit the playstyle a little bit better. Alright, so first of all, let's just show you where to go. This right here is the central station. So this is where you're going to pop out. It's in the middle of the map. And then from here, you just go literally over to this side of it, and boom, there you are. Starting 5 is right here in this corner. It's right next to the Pro-Am arena for those who know where that is. So that's how you find this. It's really simple. Boom, you're just going to go straight in here. You can go ahead and, yeah, as you can see, like I'm changing around my takeovers and stuff, trying to figure out which one I wanted to run. You just walk in, boom, it'll allow you to pick whichever team you want. And as you can see right here, I'm matching up with another center, right? So now you can see you slot in the other team's center position. So like you take Brook Lopez's spot right here. Or in the case of the Suns, I'm taking, I think it's like Nurkic, we're taking his position. In some cases, you can see it also moves someone down. So like Paul George plays the 4 in some cases, and then Embiid plays the 5. But when you can like slot in at the 5, it may shift them in positions. So like move Embiid to the 4, Paul George to the 3, keep Eric Gordon. This is a nasty lineup for centers out there. Eric Gordon's a sniper. You got Paul George. So let's go ahead, now that you guys kind of understand the type of like position that we're trying to get in right here. Like this is where I went. I went on the Suns to have some snipers. If you're a post scorer or something like that, this is the toxic kind of soup right here, because you got sniper and KD, sniper Grayson Allen, shooting guard Bradley Beal, good shooter, and then you got D-Book, also good shooter. It's just 4 good shooters surrounding you, and as you can see, he went with the Sixers cheese that I'm talking about, where he's getting Embiid, Paul George, Eric Gordon, and Tyrese Maxey. So let's go ahead and go to my notes section real quick. I just want to show you guys some really good fits for you position-wise. All right, so as you can see, we have a lot of the no-goes here. These are the ones that I would never suggest by any means to ever play on. Like we got Bulls, Clippers, Grizzlies. Yeah, we're not even going to list them all. The ones with the asterisks I did want to mention, though. So like Pacers, you got Halliburton with really good dimer and stuff like that, and versatile visionary. And just the team in general is not too bad. We'll go ahead and show the actual team displays in a second when I talk about all these ones that are actually good. But Warriors, if you're playing as a center, potentially, you could have Curry, you could have Buddy Hield at the 2, you got Andrew Wiggins to maybe throw lobs to, and then Draymond at the 4 for defense. So it was some interesting kind of lineups as far as that goes. But anyway, the real good ones in my opinion, so like Lakers for instance, I was doing this as a point guard and as a small forward. When I was on my small forward post score, I had AD at the 5 and LeBron at the 4. I was using LeBron as my lockdown. You can do matchup switching and all types of toxic stuff like that. I didn't even understand though that you don't need to sweat. Again, you don't have to win the game to get good rep. It's the exact same pretty much when it comes to playing with, like, you know, whether you win or lose. But again, just to give you guys some good fits to allow you to maybe play the game easier, get the teammate grade easier, have good shooters around you or good defenders, whatever you happen to need. I'm here to help you with the lineup as far as something that may intrigue your, you know, type of selection. And I don't know how this video is going to do. It might really flop for all I know, but I just wanted to do this because I love this game mode, and I think it's really fun for those out there who are playing solo player. Something to give you something to do as far as, like, you don't need teammates around and you don't have to play solo rec. Instead, you can be in full control of it, and these AIs go crazy, bro. They shoot the ball so good. It's honestly unbelievable. Like, I'm talking people like Anthony Davis, who only have like 63-point rating, are sniping the ball like crazy, bro. I even seen Mitchell Robinson for the Knicks, bro. He was out here sniping from 3 as well. Point guard, we have the Lakers, Sixers, and T-Wolves if you want locks. So like Anthony Edwards and Jaden McDaniels are both really good defenders. You got Julius Randle now on the team, who's at least decent size and physicality and stuff like that. And then Gobert at the 5. We'll go over all these lineups so you can actually see them and like the overall, the people, and maybe the pictures just to give you a better idea for who's who if you're not really like good at putting names to face just because of the team name. Lakers, your spot ups are just Austin Reeves and Rui, so it's not like the greatest, but they can still shoot plenty well, and LeBron's plenty good at shooting as well. LeBron and AD are extremely cheese for throwing lobs though. The whole point is to get them in the pick and rolls and stuff and just hit your point guard matchup, and a lot of times it's gonna be Drew Holiday because so many people use the Celtics, bro. It is a toxic lineup out there with Drew at the 1, who's a pure lockdown essentially at point guard, so they do it to deter you as a point guard very often. So with the Lakers, you can get LeBron and AD to really be some pick and roll lob threats for you and just attack whatever matchup you want between them. And then for shooting guard, as you can see, we have Celtics listed because of exactly what I was talking about, Drew Holiday. We'll get to, once again, all the breakdowns in just a second. I want to just give you guys some options to be on the lookout for. Thunder, Nuggets, Bucks, Lakers. Nuggets may be a really interesting type of lineup to go for if you wanted to maybe throw lobs to Aaron Gordon while also using Jokic on pick and pop, stuff like that. You still got Jamal Murray at point guard. Interesting lineup for sure. Small forward, we had Sixers, Lakers, and Thunder. Cavs are interesting, but they have a lot of defense. The bigs can technically shoot, and that's where you could take advantage of the fact that lower sliders, like, you know, it's easier for the people with low three-pointer to hit, and in like Jarrett Allen and Evan Mobley's case, it's definitely more usable for them to be able to actually be on the field and on the court and space the floor, I should say. Power forward, we got the Knicks. You get like a nasty god squad out here. Mavs, it's also insane. You got Klay at the 3 with Kyrie at the 2 and Luka at the 1. Those are some absolute shooters around you. And if you wanted, like, let's say, for instance, the Suns, if KD shifts over to the 3, it'd be a pretty good ball for you as well. Thunder, if you want locks around you, you could have like Caruso and Lou Dort, and those two are absolute just perim locks. You could put them on a guard, and they're going to have a tough time for sure. Center, for post scorers, I'd like to think the Suns are really good. Celtics could just be a good match because, again, a lot of perimeter defense and stuff like that. Knicks, if you put Cat at the 4, that's a really good fit, and it'd be really nasty to have like Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, and Jalen Brunson, as well as Towns at the 4. That'd be nasty. And then Warriors, we already mentioned why. So let me go over to the actual team selection real quick and just give you guys a nice little understanding of why some of these are really good fits. Alright, so as for my favorites, like I said, we're just going to go over them by each position. I hope you guys are at least enjoying like this type of video, because I'm trying to set you guys up for a game mode like this, and if you're not interested in it, it's all good. But starting 5 is very fun. I don't think the gameplay itself is something that I need to really preach to you to have you enjoy it. I think you should just give it a try. And if you like it, that's even better. You could come back to the video. I know I'm maybe not like broadcasting this to you in the best way to get you hooked on the game mode itself, but this is more for the people that are interested in it already. And I'm trying to at least help you in the regards of like finding a team for you and just understanding how to maybe play the game a little bit better as well. So anyway, for point guards out there, like I said, Lakers could be a really good option because of the lob threats. LeBron and AD are absolute monsters in terms of just banging those alley-oops and stuff, and they can really be a great teammate grade assist to you as well. And again, Reeves and Rui can shoot plenty good. If you want to do it as a small forward as well, like I said, D'Lo and Reeves are also really good spot ups. And if you're doing the type of cheese I was doing where I was post scoring at the small forward position, it's very rare that anybody's probably doing that. But man, it's toxic for sure. It's really easy. I didn't lose a single game in a whole day of doing it and gained like 40% on my bar. Anyway, besides that, we already mentioned the Sixers would be a good option as well. So like this is Eric Gordon, sniper. Kelly Oubre, plenty good shooter. Paul George, also great shooter. And then Embiid, good enough shooter with the way that the sliders work in this. And then also just in general is a really good pick and roll threat. He's a really good rim protector and stuff. So against post scorers, he can really dominate. And that's what you got to really be on alert for a little bit if you want to win the games, which again gives you only like about a 0.1, 0.2 buff in my regards. It might be like a more like 0.4, 0.5 for you depending on what rep you're at. But at the end of the day, it's still important to be able to win. Not entirely, but it's something that's a little subcategory for sure. But teammate grade comes first. Remember that for sure. And also the ease of access to this, in my opinion, comes second. You want to at least be able to like enjoy this. And maybe, again, for some of you out there, it may be a little bit more of a kind of multitask thing where if you want to like watch some Netflix, something like that, and you know, be able to grind this at the same time, sit in the zone defense, don't care whether you win or lose, I think that's good ball. And like sitting in the zone makes it so you don't have to worry about your teammate grade on like the leave assignment or anything like that quite as much, as long as you're standing in a corner or like in whatever the zone entails that you would want to be in. But anyway, the other option that I had was the T-Wolves. So obviously it kind of sucks they lost Towns now, but what it does a little bit more defensively is it's pretty good as far as like, I don't know why I'm having such a hard time finding them, it's alphabetical, but it makes it a little bit easier time as far as the perimeter defense and the switchability of this team. So like if you take the point guard spot, you're looking at Ant at the 2, Jaden McDaniels, who's a true blue lockdown at the 3, and then Julius Randle at the 4, who's, like I said, little Swiss Army knife. He's not a great defender, but he's, like, got the size and the physicality and the speed and stuff like that. And then Gobert is a true rim protector. For, like, those post scorers out there are going to hate this freaking lineup that you got out here for sure. And Ant would be a really good pick and roll option. In case you don't know, you tap your bumper and hold the icon of the person that you're trying to screen for. So in Ant's case, you would tap LB, hold the B button, and then boom, that's going to get Ant to pull into the screen, and you'll be able to use him in that regard. So moving on to shooting guard, this is absolutely the most cheese lineup you could ever run in the game pretty much. You take Derek White's spot, who's already a good player for that matter, but probably, you know, the worst player on the lineup so far. And then you'd have Drew at the 1, you at the 2, Jaylen Brown at the 3, Tatum at the 4, and Porzingis at the 5. This is a true God squad, bro. Like, if you add a 99 overall my player to this, or whatever the heck your my player even is, you're looking at, like, literally 5 all-star players, pretty much. And Drew, lockdown. Jaylen Brown, lockdown. Tatum, lockdown. Porzingis, super tall, super cheese. He's not exactly the best at stopping post moves per se, but like his size is going to be a problem as far as that goes. It's not the best team in terms of stopping post scores, but it is the best team in terms of stopping other point guards. And if you're a shooting guard, this is pretty much a walking W, just easily, essentially. I did mention that the Thunder and Nuggets would be pretty good as well. So, like, if you wanted to take Caruso's spot or Lou Dort's spot, it would take a lockdown off the court, but you'd still be able to play with Shea and Chet. And Jalen Williams is a really good shooter as well. So, it'd be a good spot to slot in at the 2 and the 3. And you could even play at point guard if you wanted as well and just have lockdowns pretty much everywhere else. The Nuggets would be a really interesting option as far as playing the 3, or the 2, I should say. Because then you take Brown's spot. So, like, you got Jamal Murray, great shooter. Michael Porter, excellent shooter. Aaron Gordon, really good for the alley-oop threats if you wanted someone to use for like lobs and stuff. Jokic, good for pick and pops and just being able to bail you out in the paint mash. That interior scoring is really OP if it's not a great matchup as far as like bigs to counter it, and the Nuggets would be a really good option as far as that goes. I already mentioned that the Lakers maybe would be a good option at the 2 just because, you know, you could take anything 1 through 3 in my opinion on the Lakers and it'd still be good ball. besides that, we got the Bucks as well. So like this is a really cheese option as far as shooting guard. You got Dame at the 1, knockdown shooter, could even like, you know, just create his own shot and stuff like that. You could put the ball in his hands and just call it a day. Brook Lopez, good spot up. Giannis actually better at spotting up than you'd ever believe, bro. It's insane just because of the way that the shooting sliders work. And he's just an absolute dominant force out there as far as a pick and roll threat. If you want, you can tap LB and click his icon, which is Y on Xbox, and then you can just tell him to cut to the basket. And it's something that's super cheese that a lot of people are doing out there as well. Middleton, good shooter also. So Bucks are a really, really nasty option as far as the shooting guard goes. If you wanted to take it as like a small forward or a point guard, it could work too. But you can even argue at center for that matter as well. But it's tough to say. Giannis is tougher for spacing as far as like if you're a post scorer or anything like that. So you probably don't want to do that. But anyway, that is pretty much our shooting guard explanation. For the small forward, again, I'd like to think Sixers could be pretty cheese for that. We've already talked about their lineup. Lakers, if you wanted to just, you know, slot in at the 3 right there as well, take Rui's spot. Now, Cavs, we mentioned this as a defensive option. Evan Mobley and Jarrett Allen are really, really good, like big man defenders. However, they don't have great defense at the guard. So it's probably a little bit of a setup for me to tell you to check them out. But on paper, it looks like a good fit, you know, for you to take the small forward position. But yeah, probably not the best offensive, you know, or not the best defensive lineup. And then, as we mentioned, the Thunder as well, really good to slot in at the 3. You'd be able to take Dort's spot, and boom, there you are, as far as like a good small forward fit. So those are our best small forward options. Now, power forward is a very intricate position that could be very, very worth, like, you know, going with one of these teams. So we have the Knicks, where OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges, true lockdowns. They are like both 6'7", really good locks. If you ever played a My League or anything like that, they are very high picks because of how good they are on defense. Towns, great pick and pop option. He can still be a good pick and roller as well. Good center to just play like a my career sort of mode with. And Jalen Brunson, good pick and roll point guard as well. Now the problem is if you're slotting at the 4, I don't know exactly how you're intending to use this. If you're a pick and roller, Towns could still be a great spot up, and then you could use like Brunson to use the screens with. And again, great defense across the whole lineup in my opinion as well. You could even argue maybe at the 2 and the 3 it could slot in here, or even point guard. If you play that point guard, Josh Hart is a lockdown too. You got true locks 2 through 4 easily. So the other option at power forward would be the Mavs. I think the Mavs would be a great option as far as like great offense. So if you're like, let's say a pro-am power forward, right, and you still want to play this mode, you want to just spot up in the corner, maybe do what you got to do to get good teammate grade on defense and stuff like that, you know, pass the ball around a little bit here and there. This is a great team with a lot of trigger-happy players where it's like if Luka gets the ball, he's shooting. Kyrie gets the ball, he's shooting. Clay gets the ball, he's absolutely shooting. And then Gafford, a little bit more of a rebounder, true inside. It's a little bit tougher for you to fit in here. If you want to play it at center as well, you could do that. PJ Washington, solid shooter, good dunker and stuff like that. He's pretty fast as well. So it's a good spot as far as like power forward center, in my opinion. So then for center, we've already talked about all these teams, so I'll just mention them to you. It's the Suns, Celtics, and Knicks. We've already talked about where you'd fit in a lot of those positions. In the Suns case, you're taking Nurkic's spot. Celtics, you're taking Porzingis' spot, and it's all the small guards and the forwards and stuff like that. Knicks, you're sliding Cat down to the 4, so it's taking Hart's spot, and you're at the 5, so it works out the exact same way we talked about with the power forwards. And then the other one would be the Warriors, where if you're slotting in at the center on this team, it's Wiggins and Draymond in the front court with you. And then in the backcourt, you got Buddy Hield and Curry, who both have extremely high three-point ratings as well. So overall, just a couple guides for you guys if you wanted to give a nice little look at, you know, some of the rosters, where you'd fit on the teams and stuff like that. Besides that, like I mentioned, you can hop in here, you can run zone. You don't have to focus on defense a whole lot. You really don't have to focus on offense a whole lot. You could just let the teammates just run the plays for you and stuff. And like I said, this is up to your discretion how much you want to sweat. If you want to sweat it like crazy, you can get really good rep. If you want to not sweat it like crazy, it'll be a little bit less because you're probably going to lose, but it's not going to matter because the wins and losses don't really make the biggest difference. It's just about teammate grade. So fit in well, don't throw a lot of turnovers, don't take bad shots, you know, rack up some rebounds, some assists and stuff like that, and you're good from that point forward. Now, however, I'm going to show you one thing real quick. You can see this is like a 34-minute long like clip right here where I was playing against a dude who was like a 73 overall, and he was not very good, and it was a really tough situation for him. He plays the game for literally a couple of minutes and quits. Now check this out, right? I show you my rep before, it was at 80.3. Now after he quits, stick with me because as you can see, he will quit after a little bit of time right here, and now I'm at 80.9. So I got 0.5. Granted, it's double rep, so understand that it's probably more like 0.3 in my case, but I get rep for literally the dude just quitting out. And 0.5 is a lot for me, mind you. Like that's still very good. That's literally like three twos games combined. So like I went on a tear with this stuff as well. We go into the next game. The dude's playing as a small forward. As you can see, we get like about to halftime and then he quits as well. So it was actually well before halftime. And as you can see, once again, we're up to like 82% now. So keep that 82 number in mind. We get another quit out right here as well at about less than halftime again. So again, keep that 82% in mind. I got an A+ right before he quit. Guess what? We go from 82% to 83.3 for playing like half a game, if even that. So I got 1.3% on the bar for literally just a quit out before half. So if you want to sweat, that's the thing, is it's by far the most efficient way to get the rep is getting people to quit out early. So at your own discretion, if you want to sweat like crazy, let me tell you about some methods real quick. So what you're going to see me doing with a lot of these icon switching and stuff like that, you can see I'm changing people's on-ball pressure. I'm changing their off-ball pressure. So I'm hitting LB to get the icons to pop up, right? From here, I could like change LeBron. That's actually what I did is I hit Y from here, and then I told him what matchup to go for. So I put Y on the point guard right here. So I got LeBron on the PG. I got AD on Porzingis, and I'm finding my way to like Tatum or Brown. And in this case, they have to kind of like, finesse these types of, like whoever D'Lo's on pretty much, because he's the weak link on D. But you can see it makes a way tougher time for the other team on the point guard, and it just makes them more willing to quit. I'm really preaching some toxic stuff to you guys right now, but hey, like I said, there's two different ways to go about this. You can go in a very chill way that's just about getting teammate grade, or you can go in a way where it is destroying people and forcing them to quit, and you get the rep even faster. So again, this one's a little bit more toxic, but hey, I'm here to show it. So it is what it is. Anyway, you can see I'm changing like the on-ball pressure. So I'm like sorting through here, going to the off-ball pressure, putting deny on people. So they're like playing tighter. There's no scary passes to be made. You can see he's trying to get open on LeBron. It's a hard time, man. It's a real hard time. And as you see, that's a tight cover right there. I mean, it is tough on people for sure. And a lot of times what you might see people do is run the zone like I was talking about. Right here, I just got the little guy matched up on me, and that's just going to be a tough ball for him. Unfortunately, Porzingis ends up actually guarding me pretty well, and that's what I was talking about. He's a pretty good rim protector. But anyway, long story short, a lot of the sweating stuff like that is what I was talking about on the defensive end. And in this case, it's like, once again, matchup switch. I'm changing the off-ball pressure, the on-ball pressure. LeBron gets a yellow on the fade right there as well. And you can see how it just makes for a really toxic time on here. Now, there are situations like this where I'm calling for LeBron to go for the screen, and that's his matchup, right? So now I'm forcing him into the pick and roll action, and it makes super easy offense. So to do this where you call for a screen specifically from somebody, I'm tapping LB, not holding it. I know a lot of y'all like to hold it, and it just tells the closest big man on the court to come to you instead of screen. Instead, when you tap it, you have full control over which one is going for the screen, and then you can hold the icon of the one that you want to come towards you. So in this case, I'm holding the Y button, and it brings LeBron toward me. You can see that little interface right there as well allows you to choose whether you want them to pick and pop or pick and roll. So you can hit your bumper to control that as well. You could control what side the screen comes to, but I don't really care to do that too much. But yeah, long story short, if you want the pick and pop to happen, it may even set up for a lot of a better situation as well. But like, let's say the dude cut me off really good. I could use LeBron as a lob threat right here as well. And boom, the alley-oops with Porzingis trailing. Like LeBron's going to beat him to that spot easy as well. So that's why the Lakers work out so good in my favor, in my opinion, is because they got lob threats. They got good shooters at the 1 and the 2. They got, if you want to play with Rui at the 3 as well, it works out in that regard. And again, great lob threats, great spacing, great defense, and I mean, it's just like got a lot of options for you for sure. But anyway, between the matchup switching, between the tightness, if you want as well, if you were to click right bumper and then hit the RBA, like right here, if you hit the right bumper and then click A button, boom, I get my matchup to instantly just switch to the point guard. So like with two-way tenacity, you can just switch on to the PG just like that. So I know we're going really in depth with this stuff, but obviously, I just wanted to preach some stuff to you. And as you can see, he does get like the blow by, and it can be a little bit hard sometimes to rely on your AI teammates to play great defense. But in a lot of cases, I mean, you can see he's cold and stuff. Like this is what I was doing at the 3, is it was really toxic. I'm, like I said, putting him into the pick and pops. You can see I got Jaylen Brown on me. I'm just hitting him with the drop step dunk. I mean, it's tough, man. We're out here for the teammate grade. It's just what I was here to do, So it is what it is. And again, I didn't realize you don't have to sweat or anything like that. I thought you had to win the games. I just never even knew that until someone told me that. And then I tested it for myself in that game that I was showing you at the beginning. And yeah, you can just lose the games and it doesn't make a huge difference really. So again, I'm out here sweating and stuff, you know, I'm really locked in and focused and stuff, but you don't have to by any means. But it's a good way to unlock takeovers as well. You can get your max level up, you know, stuff like that. It gives you badge progress, everything. It's a really good place to be for a player who's solo and doesn't have a lot of time to work with other people. So anyway, that's all video. I hope y'all enjoyed. I know I went really in depth with this stuff, but that's what I intended to do with the video. So I know it probably flopped. It was probably a terrible vid, but hey, I wanted to put people onto this if they needed it. And again, there's a lot of people out there that don't really have teammates to play with. So to get your rep up on your own time, it can be something that's actually fun to play if you get behind it a little bit more. But anyway, that's all video. I hope you enjoyed. If you made it to the end of the vid, put Laker in the comment stories, purchase my way through, or you could put 5 as well. But anyway, that's all. Appreciate y'all watching. None of that. Take easy, man. Peace.